Hey, morning traders, welcome to Market Snapshot. Thank you for everyone who's joining in. Say hello as you join in. So today we are going to look at the CPI, the Canadian CPI, and also retail sales in the US. And so remember, once again, the conversation is simple. The moment you start trading, once you've already figured out your technicals, your next thing is to make sure that your fundamentals are okay. So what do we mean? That every day when you wake up, have a look at your economic calendar. So, like yesterday, we had a look at PMIs, and we saw the effect on these ones. We saw some trades went to script, and so we'll be looking at now Tuesday. We had the claimant count change. Came out positive, and so we will see the effect of that. And then we also now we are more focused on this data over here. Remember, you're more concentrated on the red folders, right? The other ones will those kind of news will have an impact on your position. So we have the CAD CPI, so we have the month on month, and so previously it was 0.4. Traders are expecting that it comes out at 0.1%. That means, of course, as traders, this presents us with an opportunity. So this means that the inflation has dropped, right? And so any number that is higher than this will be good for the Canadian dollar. So if this number comes out maybe 0.2, 0.3, or anything above this, then we should see a strong Canadian dollar. Also, if you look at the year on year, right? So if you come here to this calendar, we have the inflation, right? Year on year, November. So previous number consensus. So there's the expectation that the number will remain constant, that there won't be so much of a change. However, if this number comes out higher, let's say 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, then we should expect the Canadian dollar to strengthen, right? So basically, why does it strengthen? Because there's the perception that if the inflation goes high, then there's the expectation that interest rates, if there were some cuts, then there will be a pause. Or if there were, let's say there were no cuts, right? If they were like let's say the Bank of Canada in this case, right? It had held its interest rate at a certain position. Based on the inflation data, they can decide to increase their interest rates. Yes, they can decide to increase their interest rates. So that means that will be an effect on, at the end of the day, when interest rates are increased, it tends to mop out money in circulation. What do I mean? That when the interest rates are down, guys can easily access money, right? And we know some of these Western economies, they operate on debt. So a lot of credit cards. So that means if the interest rates go high, people are like, hey, do I really, they start making choices like, do I really need whatever it is that I'm about to buy, considering that I will pay it at a higher price as compared to what I would have paid, let's say 2 months, 3 months earlier. So they tend to reduce consumption. And so what happens if the prices of, let's say, commodities and services were because of too much money in the economy due to easy access to loans, the prices of those things will start going down because guys are not buying them, so prices will stabilize. So that's the tool that most of these central banks use to tend to rein in on some of these inflation rates by increasing the interest rate. So that is what we have on 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 the Canadian dollar. So that CPI, we should see some volatility coming in. Then later we'll be looking at the retail sales. So we need to look at the numbers earlier. The previous number was 0.4%. So this time around, we expect that the number will be higher at 0.6%, right? So it gives you data on how guys are consuming, right? It's a primary gauge of consumer spending, which accounts for majority of overall economic activity. So if guys are consuming a lot, right? Once again, it goes back to the probability that inflation could go high, and in this case, there's the perception that interest rates could also be hiked to rein in on this inflation. Remember, inflation is the steady increase of a steady increase in prices of goods and services. So every time, like let's say tomorrow, let's say like next month, the price of bread is at 65, next month 70, 75, 80. So one way of reining that is removing money in circulation, so that at least those guys who are able to afford this can reduce, and the companies can realize, hey, by the way, if we were increasing these prices due to forces of demand, then we need to cut down, because now less people are buying our bread. So that's how you bring down the prices of whatever it is that the central banks feel have some weird prices, right? They're away from the normal. So retail sales, that's something that we'll be looking at. So if the numbers come higher than this, let's say 0.07, 0.08, then the dollar should strengthen. The same here. Anything higher than 0.4%, maybe 0.5, 0.6, then the dollar strengthens. The reverse will be true. If this number comes out lower than this, maybe 0.4, 0.5, 0.3, then we should see the dollar weakening. And here, if the number comes out, the core retail sales month on month, if the numbers come out lower, right, so 0.3%, 0.02, sorry, 0.2, 0.1, then we should expect a dip in the dollar. So that is what we have in terms of the economic calendar. So we just need to understand that you leverage on this information to go to your charts, right? So if you see the numbers, there are guys who trade before news, there are guys who trade during the news, there are guys who wait for the noise to settle and come in after 1 hour. So I'm that kind of guy, the last guy, right? I'll wait for that news and see whether the price has gone to key support and resistance areas. You guys saw what happened during USD CHF, right? Was it last week? Yes. uh, Price was bullish in line with the projection. Then we saw that resistance on H4, but then again later price went to fill that gap we had identified. So it's always good for you to know your strategy, have a plan. Even if you're trading these news, have a plan and stick to your plan, and make sure that you've made this plan out of back testing, not just going in blindly. It's something you've back tested. Maybe you are doing this on a demo account, uh, trading a lot of news to see how news can impact your position. So once you've seen how different news impact the trades, then you're able now to draw a plan and say, hey, based on what I've been seeing, it's ideal that I enter before, I enter during, or after. So for my case, that's what I've said. Like, I did my back testing and I realized, I would rather, if I'm not in a position, I'll definitely get into a trade maybe after 30 minutes or 1 hour when the noise are settled, if it's really necessary. If not, then I can always wait, because we can all agree, we've been trading for quite a long time, that anytime you trade some news and maybe take a hit on your account, when the news are settled and the trades are back to normal, crystal clear setup starts presenting themselves, and you're like, what? Yeah, man, I blew my account last week trading news, and here are the setups. The setups that you can't dispute. It's a clear buy, it's a clear sell, but then again, you don't have trading capital. So capital preservation should be your main goal, so that we normally say trading opportunities will always be there. It's like a bus. There'll be the next bus coming, right? You just need to be patient, sit on your hands, and wait for the setups to present themselves according to your trading plan. Plan your trades, trade the plan. So let's go to our technicals. Let's go to now MT5 and identify some positions, see where what we are looking at. So there's something. I had a challenge with my MT5, so I lost everything. Unfortunately, I lost every analysis I had. I've had to install my MT5 again. I don't know whether you guys have experienced that. So if you can't if your MT5 is acting up, so you need to go to your MT5 and log in, and then update your MT5. Maybe I need to show you guys how to go about it, because I feel that probably I'm not the one who experienced this. I'm not the only one who's experienced this. So you need to do this. No. Okay, let me just now need to look for this one. So of course, you need to log into your portal. Your portal is what? Go to FXPesa, right? Sign in. Your email, your password. Your password, and then of course come here to your platform and download for Windows, right? Download your MT5 so that you can update it. So if you have a challenge, for those who are using the desktop version, right? So that's how you update your MT5. I had a challenge like, that's why I've delayed getting to the market snapshot. So you can do that so that you now have the updated MT5. I hope that is clear. Okay, so let's go to my MT5 so that we can go to the technicals. So like I said, I've lost most of my analysis, but we will just work with what we can. So I remember in terms of GBP/USD, I had a position on this one. We were looking for buys. If you go to your trades, I've not even updated some of these things, right? Okay. We were looking for buys on GBP USD, and I said it's going to that moving average. So you can see what I've been saying time and again. I use my moving average to book my profit. So the first take profit was here, and then you can see the market came back, tested the 50 moving average, and then buyer stepped in and went to the 800 moving average. You can see the 800 moving average here acting as resistance, right? So the first hit, there was some sales. Next hit, buyers pulled up to the 800, and then all of a sudden there were some sales for around 30 pips. So that tells you how effective the moving average here is playing as a dynamic resistance. So let's go to maybe fresh analysis. So we want to identify positions on GBP USD. What are we looking at? Go to higher time frames. So if you go to higher time frames, there's a high chance that we could probably be looking at sell setups. But then again, we need to identify where do we want to sell from. So I will map out this area as my first resistance area, 2742. That's probably an area I would want to see. Maybe GU get to, right? Either that or this neckline over here. There's a possibility that GU could test that neckline, right? So that's 2713. That's an area I will be looking at on GU to see whether price could get there before considering a sell trade on this particular asset. So I'll probably be looking at these buys. Go to M15. So probably I'll be looking for buys on this particular trade. I need to set this up. Okay. Probably be looking for those buys. Alternatively, we could see a buy to this high. on GU before selling. Before taking a downward trade on this one. So that will be my analysis on GU. Maybe a test of this high, either 27.13 or 27.42. Those are two areas probably I would want to see GU get to before maybe deciding to go short on that. So let's go to US30. US30, remember, we've been selling US30 for the longest since last week. We've been looking for sell opportunities. Too bad my analysis is no longer there. But yeah, remember yesterday my analysis was simple. If you go back to the video I did yesterday, we were looking for, I had done a bullish, need to set this up. Anyway, I had done this analysis yesterday, and after that I had said I want to see GU come here, sorry, US30 come to this moving average as the first take profit. No, okay. This moving average would be the first take profit, and then I also identified an order block. Kindly go back to my video from yesterday on this one. I had analyzed this one. This order block over here, which is the bullish order block, the last bearish candle before a major move up that broke this structure here, right? This higher high was broken by this candle over here. So the last bearish candle that broke that structure is an area where I would identify as a strong support area. So if I'm looking for opportunities now on US30, I'm still looking for sells. So price is currently 43,568. So I'll be looking at 43,517 and 43,359 as support areas. So I would want to see a continuation of the short to first take profit 1 and then maybe take profit 2. So if US30 comes down to here, then I would probably now seek buy opportunities. Okay, I will be looking for buy opportunities on this asset. But we can see once again the 50 EMA acting as dynamic resistance. So every time buyers come up, they encounter resistance on the 50 EMA. This is what I had mapped out yesterday, that there's a possibility that these buyers will push up and counter sellers on this moving average, and then of course sellers will step in, and you can see that is how that US30 played out. So that's US30. Let's look at Euro USD. So unfortunately I lost this analysis, but it's okay. So on Euro USD, what are we looking at? I would want to see maybe a test of this low. Maybe a test of yesterday's low will be something I would want to see on Euro USD. So a test on that low, let's go to H1. Yesterday's low is here, okay? So that is yesterday's low. Remember, yesterday's low is one of the areas where you look for opportunities to enter the market. So I would probably want to see a push to this low, and then that's the only time probably I would now consider buying Euro USD. That's the only time I'll consider buying Euro USD. Maybe there's a possibility of us having a head and shoulder pattern, but then again, let's see the tag. What will be the target if I were to buy? So I'll target my first take profit on the moving average. And then maybe I will now go for this order block here, 0551. So this is the analysis I would be looking at on Euro USD. A buy for 76 pips. So I would want to see, let's go to H1. Sorry. Yeah, so maybe I would want to see a bearish push and then a bullish push to that high. That is what I would want to see on Euro USD. That will present a good case for me to enter buys. So let's see how this trade comes in. Maybe it's coming to test this low, yesterday's low, and then buyers will definitely step in. However, we also have a possibility of it coming down to last week's low. So last week's low is this price level over here. So in such a case, how do you enter a market that has two areas of support and you feel that price could come to any one of them? So when price gets here, what you'll be interested to see is a bullish candlestick pattern, right? You'll want to see a bullish candlestick pattern. If I see a hammer on yesterday's low, if I see a bullish engulfing, if I see a morning star, if I see bullish tweezers, then that will give me a confirmation that indeed buyers are quite strong on yesterday's low, and so we should now be looking for buy opportunities. Okay, and the first take profit will be 40 pips, which is what we've mapped out here on the moving average, 40 pips, and then go for the rest of the pips to 0551. 0551, 0550, 50 is a quarter point area. So that's an area probably I would want to see play out on Euro Euro NZD. Sorry, yes, Euro USD, not NZD. So as for GU, sorry, I think I should have mapped this out. We should probably be looking at a test of this Asian low, right? So probably we should see GU come here also, and then maybe from then on we can see buyer stepping in. That will be an interesting take on GU also. Remember, you need to identify these entry areas. I'm a strong believer in having a good entry. A good entry helps you in overcoming drawdown periods. You know, like some of you probably are doing, probably prop farms, and you'll understand how important it is to have a good entry, right? So try and work on your entries and of course your exits also. It's quite a shame. It's quite bad when you up 50 pips only for your trade to go back and hit your stop loss minus 20. It affects you. There's something that it does to you psychologically, messes you up. So pay yourself. Go for the 30 pips, go for the 50 pips, go for the 60 pips, right? So have different take profit targets as you fine tune your strategy, right? As you work on being a swing trader, someone who can hold 100, 200 pips without being affected. So as you keep learning, just book your profits along the way. So we've done GU, we've done US30, we've done Euro USD. So let's look at Audi USD. So Audi USD, let's go to, so you can see something interesting. This is what I've been saying in terms of the lows. Look at, I'll just draw something here. This is yesterday's low, right? So we want to see the first touch, the first hit on yesterday's low. What has happened? So let's go to our right now. You can see the first hit on yesterday's low, buyers has, we can see some buyers who stepped in for around, is it almost 10 pips for a scalp. Now the market is coming down to test that area. So in this case, I'll probably want to see maybe the next area of support, which will probably be last week's low. Okay, so last week's low will present a good scenario for me to take buy trades. So 63.35, that's like 8 pips from now from the current market price. So 8 pips is something that we should probably look out for. So on the daily, let's look at H4. Yeah, so on H4, let's go now to lower time frames. Just like we've seen on Euro USD, we are looking for buys if they present themselves. So let's go to objects. I really need to update this one. So I can only take buys on Euro USD once, on Audi USD, sorry, once price gets here. And maybe now I could target that high. So let's go to H1. Yeah, I'll probably now target this moving average. So just like we've seen on Euro USD, GBP USD, we're looking for sells to probably now, in this case, last week's low, and then see some buyers stepping in. That's Audi USD. Let's look at USD CHF. So NZD USD will follow the cousin in most cases. But let's look at it also. So go to H4. So the area I would want to see NZD USD come to is 57.51. Do I have anything on my left? Remember, technical analysis is where you look left so that you can trade right. So if you go to the daily, you need to identify something on your left. So this area seems to be an area that even surpassed last year's low. Okay, so let's see how NZD USD, the Kiwi, reacts to this low. So this is the weekly low, or actually this is even yesterday's low. This is yesterday's low. So let's see how NZD USD reacts when it gets here. But I'm looking for buy opportunities. I'll probably be looking for buys, just like the other assets. And my take profit targets will be one there on that moving average. The other one will be here, Asian high. Today's Asian high is an area that probably we should see some take profit, some profit targeting taking place here. Okay, so let's go to these. I'll probably now be looking at that on NZD USD. Okay, let's look at USD JPY or USD CHF first. So we can see USD CHF has been bullish. So yesterday we were looking, I think, for it to get somewhere lower down here before moving up, but we can see that really didn't play out. The moving averages over here acted as strong support, right? So you can see once again the moving averages, what I've been saying with regards to the moving averages, they can help you in identifying areas where you can buy. But then again, we know moving averages are lagging data, but then if you know how to use them, well, you should be good to go. So let's go to higher time frames. So we can see last month's high was this. This is an area we were looking at as a possible take profit target area. Go to higher time frames. Higher time frames will always help you identify support areas and resistance areas. So what we can see here is a strong case for a buy, right, on USD I can identify this as a morning star pattern. So that tells you USD is a strong buy. It's a strong buy. We should probably see it get to these highs or even the high of the year, which is this one over here. Right, there's a possibility of USD CHF getting there. That could happen next year. I don't think that will happen in December, but who knows? Anything can happen. So one of the areas I would probably want to map out is that area, which for me presents a strong resistance area, a very strong one. 9082 is a very strong resistance because one, we can see a moving average. The other one, we can see a bit of an order block here. So for me, I would, with those two confluences, I can see a strong resistance area. So currently, what do we want to look at on USD Because overall, this looks like a bullish trade. So we need to look at also something here. There's a moving average here, the 800, quite effective. Because you can see the last time this trade came to the moving average, the 800 moving average, you can see the buyers were stopped and sellers stepped in for a whole lot like 800 pips, if I'm not wrong. Let's see, from this price level to this, yeah, 780 pips. Yeah, so we expect some resistance also when these buyers USD gets to 90.21. So in the meantime, overall, I'm looking for a bullish trade. Any bearish move on USD is just a retracement. We are still long. We are still long on USD So for now, I would not want to give an intraday trade on this one. I will not want to give an intraday trade on this one. I will probably be seeking 90.21 as a possible area of resistance. I'm trying to look at my left, and yeah, I'm still bullish. Let me just maintain the bullish. This is for swing, for someone who's looking at swing positions on USD it smells a whole lot of bullish. On this one. So 90.21 is the only time I can look for sales on USD Okay, because once again, look at that on my left also. There's an order block on the daily. this candle over here, the last bullish candle before a major drop that broke this structure. Remember, this is a lower low, right? This lower low was broken here. It was broken here. So the last bullish candle to do that was this one. And you can see we've just mapped it out. And there's also now another moving average. So we have two strong confluences, a moving average, an 800 moving average, and an order block. So this presents a very strong case that if price gets to 90.21, we should see some bears coming in thick and fast. Okay, so yeah, let me be bearish on that one when price gets to 90.21. So for now, I'm still very bullish on USD CHF. Okay, any other one? Maybe we look at, I remember GJ, someone had requested GJ yesterday, GBP. I remember I saw this trade went to play. So let's go to the template. Yeah, so we were looking for buys. Once again, refer to this trade from yesterday's analysis. Someone requested for this analysis, right? I don't know who it is, but if you're here, the analysis, I was looking at it and it went to script, right? So we were looking for these buy pushes, and I remember I had given you two target profits. And I remember this price 195 was based on, I think it was on the daily, if I'm not wrong. There was an order block we had identified. Yes, we had identified this order block. You see this order block here, the last bullish candle before drop. If we map it out, you'll see that's where GJ got to. So let's actually do it. Look at that, to the pip, hit it. It hit that area, right? To hit that area, and there was that drop on it. So that tells you how effective, when you understand how to combine order blocks, moving averages, highs of the day, lows of the day, you have a very solid strategy that will dish out pips. And for these, you might want to attend the mentorship sessions. We have there's a mentorship session that is ongoing right now from 11 to 12. You might want to attend those sessions, and you get to learn some of these strategies for free. This is our support as FX Pesa to you, our clients, so that you can trade effectively and take advantage of the global financial markets and opportunities without worrying about what's happening in Kenya. So watu wakisema Kenya kimeumana, you're not in that conversation, you have you have the strategy, and you're getting your 20 pips, your 30 pips. Even if, guys, I normally say if you can make 30 pips, right, as a beginner, let's say you're a campus student and you're making $3. Not many guys are making such amounts of money in Kenya, and yet you're in class, right? You take a trade, understand why you've taken that trade. I'm buying here, I'm selling here because of these and these confirmations. Take your $3. You're way ahead of most people in Kenya, right? Considering that you just took a trade, take profit, and you're done. So that area is presenting a sell scenario, but no, we're still looking for buys. GJ is still buy, and so I'll probably be looking at that. Was more of a minor resistance, so I would probably look at this other area, 197.20. 197.20 is the other area of interest on GJ. So these retracements are just opportunities to buy at a cheaper price. So if maybe GJ was to come down and test last week's high, which now would act as support, and we can see a moving average actually around that area. So I would then look for buy opportunities on this one. for 220 pips on GJ. That will be the analysis on this particular currency pair. That's it. Let's see your questions. What questions do you have for me? Or will this be live be recorded? No. You can always go back to the video, right? It's actually on the FXPesa YouTube channel, right? Just come here after this session. You'll see it here. Go to FXPesa. So you can see it's already live, and so you'll find it here. You see, like yesterday's video is here. All these videos are here, so you'll find them here, right? So it will just come here automatically, so you can always go back and have a look at it. How does bullish or bearish tweezers look like? I think this is just something that you can simply Google, but okay. Just there are candles that look like a hammer or a shooting star, but now there are two of them. So just Google bullish tweezers. These ones over here. Yeah, they look like a hammer. In most cases, these ones over here, right? So if you see these ones over here, this is probably a bullish tweezer. So if you find them at an area of support, then there's a high chance that you could see some bullish push. You see these ones? This is what I was saying, like a hammer, but they have to be two. So these are bullish tweezers. So the reverse is true on bearish tweezers. They look like two shooting stars. These ones, tweezer bottoms, tweezer tops. Yeah. Any other question? How can I join the mentorship session? You might want to reach out to me if that's okay. You can reach out to me, robert.mbogo@fxpesa.com. robert.mbogo@fxpesa.com via email. Send me that email and I'll send you some notes and even the link to the mentorship session. Okay, so that's it. No more questions. Okay, so thank you guys for attending. See you tomorrow. Let's see how the trades play out. Just make sure that you're observing risk management, right, and also managing your trades, right. So that means if you're targeting 50 pips, book your 30 pips. You never know. At times a trade could go to 49 pips and then go down to hit your stop loss. So just book your profits. Pay yourself. Okay. Thank you for your time. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.